Hello and welcome, my friend. Today we're going to focus on something simple, something practical, and something that truly works. How to improve your speaking skills, gently and naturally. You don't need to speak fast, you don't need perfect grammar, and you don't need to feel confident before you begin. What you need are small daily moments where you allow your voice to exist in English. In this session, I'll speak slowly and clearly, so you can listen, follow, and repeat if you like. Speaking improves when your mouth and mind learn to work together, and that happens through calm repetition, short sentences, and kindness toward yourself. Try speaking one thought at a time, copying real voices you hear, reading aloud, and describing your day in simple words. Mistakes are not problems. They are signs that learning is happening. So relax your shoulders, breathe, and let the words come out without pressure. Little by little, your voice will become clearer, your thoughts will move faster, and your confidence will grow quietly. Speaking well is not about being perfect. It's about being present. So stay with the process. Practice a little every day, and trust that fluency is building inside you, one small step at a time. And as you stay present with this process, something subtle begins to change inside you. English no longer feels like a performance. It no longer feels like a test you must pass. It starts to feel like a tool you can use, a quiet companion that follows you through your day. You stop asking yourself, "Am I speaking correctly?" And instead you begin to ask, "Am I expressing myself?" That shift is powerful, because language exists for expression, not perfection. And when you focus on expressing simple thoughts clearly, your speaking skills grow faster and more naturally than you ever imagined. One of the most important habits you can build is speaking without interruption. Many learners stop themselves mid-sentence. They hesitate, correct, restart, apologize to themselves. But fluent speakers don't speak because they never make mistakes. They speak because they keep going. So practice finishing your thoughts, even if the sentence is not perfect, even if the grammar feels wrong. Finish the idea. Let your voice move forward. This trains your brain to trust your mouth. It trains your mouth to stay active. And over time, hesitation fades because momentum replaces fear. Now let's talk about silence. Silence is not your enemy. Silence is part of speaking. When you pause, you give your brain time to breathe. You give your thoughts space to form. Many learners rush because they are afraid of silence, but confident speakers use pauses. They pause naturally. They pause to think. They pause to emphasize meaning. So allow pauses in your speaking. Don't rush to fill every second with sound. Silence does not mean failure. Silence means thinking, and thinking leads to better speaking. Another powerful practice is storytelling. Humans understand the world through stories. And when you tell stories in English, even very simple ones, you activate memory, emotion, and structure at the same time. Start small. Tell the story of your day. Tell the story of something that happened to you recently. Tell the story of a childhood memory in simple words. Yesterday, I woke up late. I missed the bus. I felt stressed. But later, I relaxed. These small stories build fluency because they connect sentences naturally. They teach sequence, they teach flow, and they make speaking meaningful instead of mechanical.
Let's also talk about listening with intention. When you listen passively, English stays outside you. But when you listen actively, English enters you. Choose short content. Listen once for meaning. Listen again for sound. Notice how words connect. Notice which words are stressed. Notice how sentences rise and fall. Then try to repeat. You don't need to repeat everything. Choose one or two sentences. Copy them gently. This practice trains your ear and your mouth together. And when your ear improves, your speaking improves automatically. Another key part of improving speaking skills is reducing self-judgment. Many learners judge themselves more harshly than any listener ever would. They hear one mistake and decide they are bad at English. But speaking is not a measure of intelligence or worth. It is simply a skill. And skills improve through repetition, not criticism. So when you notice a mistake, acknowledge it calmly. Then move on. Don't carry it with you. Every speaker makes mistakes. Fluent speakers simply don't stop because of them.
Now, let's talk about pronunciation. Not perfection, but clarity. Your goal is not to sound like someone else. Your goal is to be understood. Focus on clear vowels. Focus on ending sounds. Focus on slowing down just enough for your words to land. Clear speaking builds confidence on both sides, and confidence creates better communication. Accent is not a problem. Unclear speech is the only challenge, and that improves with gentle daily practice. Another habit that strengthens speaking is asking questions. Questions create interaction. They invite conversation. Practice simple question forms. What do you think? Can you help me? How does this work? Asking questions keeps conversations alive even when your vocabulary is limited. And each question you ask builds speaking confidence because it puts your voice into real use. Let's also talk about routine. Fluency grows fastest when English has a place in your daily routine. Morning thoughts, short speaking while walking, evening reflection. Choose one small time every day where English lives. Protect that time. Respect it. Even 5 minutes a day, done consistently, is more powerful than one long session done occasionally. Your brain learns through routine, and routine turns effort into habit. Another powerful idea is to separate practice from performance. Practice is private. It is safe. It is imperfect. Performance is public. Many learners avoid practice because they think every time they speak, they're being judged. But practice is for growth, not evaluation. Speak alone. Speak softly. Speak without pressure. This private practice builds the foundation that later supports confident public speaking. Now let's talk about emotional safety. You must feel safe to speak. If you feel tense, your mouth tightens, your voice weakens. So create a safe environment for yourself. Speak when you are relaxed. Speak when you are calm. Speak when you feel supported. Even speaking to yourself in a quiet room builds confidence. Safety allows fluency to grow. Fear blocks it. Another important element is patience with progress. Speaking improvement often happens in waves. You may feel stuck for weeks, then suddenly feel improvement. This is normal. Your brain is reorganizing. Trust the process. Keep practicing even when you don't see results immediately. Progress is happening beneath the surface. Let's also talk about enjoyment. When you enjoy English, you practice more. When you practice more, you improve faster. Choose content you like, topics you enjoy, voices you connect with. Language learning should feel alive, not heavy. Joy accelerates learning. Pressure slows it down. And finally, remember this. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. Your English does not need to be perfect to be powerful. Speaking is an act of courage. Every sentence you say is a step forward. Every word you speak is progress. And the more you allow your voice to exist in English, the more confident and natural you become. So, keep going. Speak gently. Speak daily. Speak without fear. And trust that your speaking skills are growing, quietly and steadily, inside you. And as you continue, something even deeper begins to happen. English starts to feel less like a foreign space and more like a familiar room you could walk into at any time. You stop preparing sentences in advance. You stop rehearsing in your head. Words begin to appear when you need them, not because you forced them, but because you allowed them to grow naturally through use. This is the moment many learners don't realize they've reached because it feels quiet, ordinary, and simple. But this quiet shift is real fluency forming. Let's talk now about acceptance. Accepting your current level is one of the strongest foundations for improvement. Many learners fight their level. They feel ashamed of it. They wish they were further along. But growth never happens in resistance. Growth happens in acceptance. When you accept where you are, you remove tension. And when tension disappears, learning speeds up. Say to yourself, "This is my level today, and that is okay." From that place of calm honesty, speaking becomes easier, lighter, and more consistent. Another important habit is reusing language. When you learn a useful sentence, don't use it once and forget it. Use it again tomorrow, and again the next day. Use it in different situations. Repetition creates ownership. Ownership creates confidence. When a sentence feels familiar, you speak it without fear. And when many sentences feel familiar, conversation flows. This is how fluent speakers build their language, not through constant new material, but through deep familiarity with useful patterns. Now let's talk about energy. Speaking requires energy, but not tension. If you feel tired, stressed, or overwhelmed, reduce your practice. Speak more gently. Speak more slowly. Even whispering counts. What matters is staying connected to the language. Some days are strong days. Some days are quiet days. Both are part of the journey. Fluency grows when you keep the connection alive, even softly. Another powerful tool is imitation with intention. Choose one speaker you like, one voice you enjoy listening to, and return to it often. Familiarity with one voice builds rhythm, pronunciation, and confidence faster than jumping between many voices. Let that voice guide you. Copy not just the words, but the calmness, the pauses, the confidence. Over time, your voice will begin to carry those qualities naturally. Let's also talk about mistakes in real conversation. When you make a mistake and the other person understands you, that is success. Communication happened. Meaning was shared. That is the goal of language. Grammar exists to support meaning, not replace it. So measure success by connection, not perfection. If you communicated your idea, you succeeded. Everything else is refinement. Another habit that strengthens speaking is reflection. At the end of the day, think back in English. What did I do today? What did I learn? What was difficult? This quiet reflection strengthens thinking and speaking together. It helps English become the language of your inner world, not just external communication. Now, let's talk about courage. Speaking requires courage, especially in the beginning. Courage doesn't mean confidence. Courage means speaking even when confidence is not there yet. Every time you speak, despite fear, you weaken fear. Every time you stay silent, fear grows stronger. So choose courage in small ways. One sentence, one question, one thought spoken aloud. Courage grows through action, not waiting. Another important idea is forgiveness. Forgive yourself for slow days. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Forgive yourself for hesitation. Learning a language is not easy. It takes time, patience, and persistence. Self-forgiveness keeps you moving forward. Self-criticism stops you. Choose the path that supports growth. Let's talk about long-term vision. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Imagine speaking with less fear. Imagine forming sentences more easily. Imagine understanding more and responding faster. That future version of you is being built right now through every small practice you do today. Fluency is not a switch. It is a construction, and you are building it brick by brick. And remember this above all, you are not behind. You are not slow. You are learning. Every speaker you admire once struggled exactly like this. The difference is not talent. The difference is continuation. They continued, and you are continuing now. So, stay gentle, stay consistent, stay curious. Speak every day, even a little. Trust the process. Trust your voice. Trust that fluency is growing inside you, quietly and steadily, becoming part of who you are. And when you speak tomorrow, speak kindly, speak simply, and speak without fear. Your voice is ready. Your journey is real, and you are moving forward, one sentence at a time.